Everyone, and welcome to today's Daily Word. It is Thursday of Holy Week, a day that we here call Maundy Thursday or Holy Thursday. Maundy Thursday comes from the Greek word mandate, from our word mandate, which Jesus gives the disciples a new mandate to love each other, so that everyone will know that they're his disciples because of their love. And so we are deep in the throes of Holy Week, and we're going to gather tonight at 6 o'clock. We have a meal, a great meal planned: roast beef and mashed potatoes and gravy and carrots and salad and applesauce and grapes and dessert. So I hope you're going to join us tonight for our meal at 6 o'clock. And then our worship that will follow right after that will begin in the fellowship hall, and then we'll be upstairs for a finish of our time together. So today is Daily Word number 704. As always, I'm glad you could join me for our time together and that you carve out time. I'm sorry we didn't have a Daily Word yesterday. I wasn't really up for it physically yesterday, and so I was pretty slow in the morning, and so I just couldn't make it happen. So thanks for hanging with me again today as we gather again, and then plan to join me tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock as we continue our journey together. Our scripture from this morning is Exodus 12, verses 1 through 2. And this is part of a bigger narrative. If you read the entire chapter of Exodus 12 that Kelsey Heiler is going to read tonight, Kelsey's my worship leader, it is about the Feast of the Passover. It is about taking care of our neighbors, about sharing the food. It's about marking the day, and of course, painting the blood on the doorpost so that the angel of death passes over. But for us, because that's so long, for us, we're going to just get these two verses. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, "This month shall mark the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year for you." So the shadows of Lent for us have reached their longest hour. And the tension of Holy Week is about to reach its climax. And for us, tonight we'll share in the bread and the cup this meal of memories that I'm going to talk about in my sermon tonight, this meal of memories, all the memories that were left with the disciples after that meal. And we'll end our time in the sanctuary with the climax of the crucifixion. The ordinariness of the meal between the teacher and the disciples is about to be broken into some anguish and some grief. And so God says to Moses and says to us, mark this moment before all hell breaks loose. Because for the Israelites, this is the culminating thing when they're finally allowed to go. When Pharaoh says, okay, get out of here. Make your journey to the promised land. I've had enough. For us, we mark this moment because this moment is the beginning of the anguish, of the grief, of the waiting for resurrection. And so we as we gather tonight, we're called to take in every sensation, we're to savor every breath, to take in the meal and the conversation. For weeks now we've been gathering, meeting around the table on Wednesday night. Bask in the conversation. Memorize every face at the table that you're gathered with. Feel the strain of carrying this burden with us. Hear that we really don't have a chance to say, we'll try again tomorrow. This day, this moment, this time in our Lenten journey is a gathering for us before the storms come on the earth yet again. It's the beginning of the long haul. It's an awful but glorious haul for us as we make our way from the table to the cross, and as we wait for resurrection. Remember this day, because from now on, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. I was working on my Easter sermon this morning, early at the restaurant in the corner, and that reminder of the difficult nature of resurrection and what it means for us, and that death storms all around us. the worst case scenarios, it steals our breath. Before the veil's torn, before earth grows dark, before the sun disappears, we are called to mark the moment. And that's what we'll do tonight. And that's what we've done all in the season of Lent on Sunday mornings as we've heard the long stories from the Gospel of John. The healing of the man born blind from birth, the death of Lazarus, Jesus in the wilderness. We've marked the moment and these continued moments in conversation of Jesus gathering and making a difference, and the crowds beginning to get angry. Last Sunday was Palm Sunday, and I talked a bit about the key players: Pilate, Judas Iscariot, Peter, who struggled all of this with what all of this means. As the crowd gets louder and louder, the Palm Sunday crowd begins to yell, "Crucify." Nothing is ever the same again because of this, because of resurrection. So we should mark the moment tonight as we gather. We'll mark the moment. We'll say this is the beginning. We'll together around the table make more memories of God gathering with us. And so for you and I, it's a call to come and clear out everything else, to set aside the moments together, just a couple of hours tonight, just to set it aside and to be present, to memorize the face across from you, to bask in the conversations, to mark the moment. Because it's this moment of sharing food and conversation, of sharing the bread and the cup, and agonizing at the cross that our lives are forever changed. And this is tonight, as I said, the shadows have reached their longest tonight. And it's up to us to gather and to mark the moment. So I hope that you will, and mark the moment with us and share with us around the table, and to feel that deep impact that's on all of us. So that's our word for the day. I'm glad you could join me for our time together. Hope to see you tonight, and Sunday morning, of course, 8 o'clock. There'll be breakfast right in here in the fireside room. 9:30 Easter egg hunt, 10:15 worship. I think it's going to be a beautiful Sunday morning as well. And so join me tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock as well. But know of God's love today as the shadows lengthen, and know of my love for you. And we'll see you tonight at 6 o'clock and tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock.